I think it is true that masculinity is in crisis. I see that, men are becoming more, they're becoming less, I don't know how to explain it. They're losing their drive for things. They're losing their drive to pursue women. They're losing their drive to like achieve goals and like go out into the world and be things. And they're consuming, bad food. They're consuming PORN. It's just things that aren't contributing to their growth. And I think, I don't know, we're in an era of, girls want all the power and all that stuff. I don't know if that intimidates men. I don't know if like that's a contributor to this, but I think we are, men are becoming more feminine and becoming.
She's not wrong about that. A lot of masculinity has been lost in the last 20 to 30 years, I would say. Excuse me. And a big part of that is a lot of single mothers are raising boys. And I think the problem is, like, I was raised by a single mom, and I think the problem is, well, one, they're not men. Two, I think they try to raise the men they want to date as opposed to the men that the boys need to become. See, I have a daughter. Right, since the age of 4, I have no idea what to do with her. I listen. When puberty started for her, I listen. I have no idea what I'm doing. No idea at all. I listen, but I have no idea what's going on because she's a girl. Since the age of 4, I've let her go to Walmart with me or wherever we go. She picks her own birthday gift. At a certain age, I just started giving her cash. She's almost 20 years old. How does a woman know how to raise a boy to be a man? They don't. They have no idea what to do. So when you're raised in a feminine circumstance, you can see it all over the place. You can see, look, you see it in tough guys. When somebody looks at them, what are you looking at? What the fuck does it matter if I'm looking at you? Calm down, Willis. I'm just looking at you. But somehow that's offensive. That's a very feminine reaction to have. You see it all the time in high school. You see it all the time in, social settings. Why is she looking at me that way? Well, she's just looking at you. No, she's looking at me. No, calm down. She's just looking at you. If somebody looks at me, I don't give a shit. Look at me. If you want to say something, say something. If you're feeling froggy, leap. But again, if a person's just looking at you, why react like a child? Why react like a lunatic? Well, that's what you see in a lot of single dudes who are raised by mom. Or that's what you see in a lot of guys who are raised by single moms. It just doesn't make sense. So masculinity is lost. One, there's no father in the house. Two, all the things that the grandfather passed on to the father didn't pass on to the son, all that's lost. And it's real hard when you're raised by a single mom or foster care on the streets or whatever to figure out how to be a man. It's real easy to be a Peter Pan forever. Just be the boy that doesn't grow up, that doesn't accept any responsibilities. Everybody else's fault. That's real easy to be. To become a man worth his own salt, his own worth, is hard. But if you're not taught hard work from an early age, it's very hard to understand what hard work is and the value of it. Like I've explained to so many people, it's important to teach your children young. It's hard to create work ethic out of thin air at 25 years old, 20 years old. You need to build it up slowly. Like I have my girlfriend, I have 2 kids that are grown. They're gone. So my girlfriend has like 10 and 9 or 11 and 8 and 9 or whatever the hell they are. They do chores. They do dishes. They cook with the air fryer. They help me cut the lawn. They have responsibilities. I'm teaching them young, small little steps at a time, how to become self-sufficient, how to understand hard work, discipline, and so on and so forth. It's important to teach them young because at 15, like, hey, you need to start doing this. I haven't done anything for 15 years. Not a damn thing. I'm going to start doing stuff now? Good luck.
Go ahead.
Honestly, I really don't give a rat's ass. If the male species is depleting, okay.
What?
You guys have had your time to shine. If you guys want to get better, you guys can do that yourselves, but I'm not going to get you out of the slump. Sorry.
Okay.
Sorry, it's just like I don't really care. Like that's on you guys. If you guys aren't like working or not going to college, then I don't know how to fix that. I am. So I don't know why you aren't.
What do you think of men?
I love men, I love.
But didn't you just say you didn't care if
Some-
all the men diminish?
Yeah, no, I don't.
So-
It doesn't affect me.
Do you have a brother?
No, I have a dad though.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't really care. Like I just don't care about guys. You guys aren't really here for me. So
What do you mean by that?
Like, I don't really need
Into the microphone.
So sorry.
It's
I don't really need a guy to like, I don't need a guy in my life. It's fun if I have one, but if I'm not going to try and make you guys better, you guys can do that on yourselves. Like, does that make sense? I don't know.
It's kind of like what Cher said, if that makes any sense. It's like, I love men. Like, I think men are the coolest, but I don't need them to survive.
Yeah.
But, like, I love
Actually,
men.
I have to come in on this. You do actually need men to survive. And here's why. Everything that you see around you was built and created and maintained by men.
Okay.
Everything. The infrastructure in this country, in every single country in the world, is built, created, and maintained by good, honest, hardworking men that just want to provide for their family.
Okay.
Everything. The roads you drive on, the buildings you live in, the restaurant, everything.
The dirty work.
If all men were to disappear, it would be chaos. I don't
That
know.
would be
think
really
that's what she's saying.
interesting.
Yeah, no, I don't think that all men should die. I don't think that women are better than men. I don't think that, like, any of that. I think men are great. It's just I don't have to fight for your guys' struggles.
Odd as it seems, I agree with that girl. Look, pull yourself by your bootstraps. I know Joe Rogan doesn't like hearing that saying, and it's harder when you're born poor and all this other shit. Now, there's people from poor countries in the world who have done very well in this part of the world and their part of the world and other parts of the world. They grew up first world poor, second world poor, third world poor. You grew up poor, you grew up poor. But one thing you often do is you learn to accept that you're poor and have nothing, or you learn to fight for everything you have and become very self-sufficient and have a drive that other people can't match because they don't understand they can't understand what it's like not to have food, not to have hydro, have to go to food banks. You know what I mean? There's a lot of things when you're poor, living in a shelter, not having Christmas gifts. There's a lot of shit that happens when you're poor that you don't forget that makes you not want to be poor. Like I don't remember who said it, but it's always like no matter how hard you work, the dog of poorness, right, is just chasing your ass all the time. It's getting close and close and close. Like some things in life you don't forget, and that becomes your drive to be successful. Whether you become a millionaire, whether you become just a stable person with a good life who can just go and breathe a sigh of relief. That's what it takes. So, but I agree with what she's saying. There's nothing women can do. Look, you can help your man become better. But fellas, it's on us. And women, it's on you, but it's not on you to fix the men. It's on you to have children with men who will be around to raise their sons. And for you, if you're slightly disgruntled in a relationship, to not throw away your children's future or their, the formative years of their life because you're upset. I'm not a religious person, but divorce is something you should take seriously. Not we had a disagreement, not even that you don't love the person anymore. For better or worse, till death do us part. Especially when there's children involved, you suck it up and you stay. If there's abuse, if there's shit like that, yeah, do what you gotta do, leave. But at the end of the day, if you're unhappy, fake it till you make it. When the kids turn 18, they move out, then get the hell on with your life.
I mean, in this present day and age, like, does she need a husband or boyfriend?
Like,
or
I don't need a
something to,
man to be happy.
You can get a job, like,
Yeah.
you
Like, I
can
don't need
live
a
your own
man
life.
to
You
get a
don't
job.
So,
necessary to
well,
have
I have a comment about that, and I'm just playing devil's advocate as a preface.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You said you don't have to fight for them, right?
Yeah.
But isn't that what feminism is about? Wouldn't you want us pioneering for you guys and on your issues?
I mean, yeah, but you guys have had the upper hand for so many years that now...
Erroneous!
I mean, you have, like, we couldn't vote 100 years.
Now, this is the thing I love the feminists say. We've had the upper hand. We've been the ones in charge forever. We've been the ones out of the house, going to work, making the moolah. It doesn't matter. Look, up until the 1800s, the 1700s, people got here in the 1600s, 1492 or whatever. And like the last 200 years, civilization really got moving. May I even push it back 300 years. The other 2 million years of evolution, let's even go back to the beginning of the time that we're in. It's 2024. from 1700 back, so the last 324 years have probably been okay. The 1700 preceding years were absolutely horrendous. It's not like we were driving Mercedes and locking you guys in the cave. We were hunting with bows and arrows and sticks and spears. We lived in huts. There was constant disease. There was constant war. There was constant SA. There was constant marauding. There was constant pillaging. There was constant plundering. There was constant death. There was constant bear attacks, wolf attacks, every attack you could ever imagine. We were in charge because we were bigger and stronger and faster and had to kill the things that were trying to kill us before he killed all of us. And then it was the same with the people who came to our villages and towns and yada, yada, yada. We had to get them before they got us. Did you really want to be in charge of that? No. It's not like we were, again, balling at the casino and you guys were just sitting at home watching a fucking 8x10 black and white TV, eating craft dinner. I guess, what are you talking about? It was terrible for everybody. We got it together, and 100 years ago, we got you guys out of the house. And 100 years out of the house, OnlyFans and this crap is the best we can get. Thanks.
Sorry, I don't give or take 20 years.
It was about 100.
Yeah, it was.
But
It was
like,
19.
You're right,
It was
110.
1920.
but like,
1920. I can tell
Sorry,
you why that
like-
is.
I don't. Why?
Should we pull up the info? I don't know if I want to pull up the infographic. But okay, so
It's just. It's like.
so just on the voting thing really quick. So voting being widely available to the vast majority of the population, whether it be men or women or both, is a very new thing within the past 200, 300 years. Before that, you basically had tyrants and kings that controlled everything.
Yeah.
So both men and women throughout the vast majority of history had no voting rights. There was a period from about, I want to say, starting in about 1700s up until the early 1900s, where men had a slight advantage, and that's because of warfare. So the way men got the right to vote before women is men, and still to this day this is the case, men are subject to military conscription. They're subject to the draft. So if there's a war, men are forced to go and die and be in the trenches and get fucking
So
chemical.
are women. Women can get drafted.
Women cannot get drafted.
Yeah, they can.
You think women can get drafted?
I don't know, honestly. But
I don't
like,
think
put me up in
there's-
Vietnam. Like, I don't know.
Women were not drafted in Vietnam.
know.
Okay,
But,
but
like-
the thing is too is like the voting thing, like that. I mean, I feel like I agree with you. I think it was just like something you brought up. Like also like 250 years ago, like if we got married, we're not our own person. We belong to our fathers or our husbands. Our kids belong to our fathers or our husbands, I guess. And then like all our money, well, we don't have money because we're not allowed to work. And
Yeah.
it's like, and we can't do anything about that because at the time.
250 years ago, what'd you want to do? Did you want to be a blacksmith? Did you want to lay rail line? Did you want to gold mine? Did you want to be a sheriff? Did you want to be a judge? Did you want to be a bailsman? Did you want to be a marshal? Did you want to be a farmer? Did you want to be the guy driving steering a boat made out of wood with water constantly coming? What did you want to do? Women worked in jobs back then that women could do today, like secretaries and keeping notes and bank tellers. Why is it like, oh, this time you guys did? It was dangerous as shit. Of course we did all the stuff. There were still animals and robbers and bad morality. Look, you think men are unsafe today? How do you think they were 300 years ago? They're horrendous. Even worse than today. Just remove morality every generation, little bit by little bit by little bit, back to 1700. It was horrendous. Of course it was terrible.
I think it's
Yeah, like
Just
my dad taught me to always be self-reliant and to never rely on anyone, and that's what I'm going to do. And so since I am relying on myself, I'm not going to worry about what you guys are doing.
Oh, yeah. So do you
Sorry,
want to give
guys.
your reaction to the Bill Maher clip?
I mean, after that debate, I kind of forgot what the Bill Maher clip was. It was just pretty much, I mean, I don't think masculinity is really, like, completely gone. I mean, some...
No, it's not completely gone, but it's...
like, depleting? Is
yeah.
that what he was... Yeah. Well, I think men can be feminine. I think men can have the right to be feminine. Just like, you know, like Harry Styles, he wore a dress on the cover of, what was it? Was it Vogue?
Yeah.
I think that's perfectly fine. Like, men can do what they
You
want.
date a guy who wears a dress?
I would. Honestly,
I absolutely would.
Yeah, like if they wore a dress on.
That's the problem right here. You're not going to help it. You're going to make it way, way worse. I dated a man who dated dress. Men don't wear dresses. Oh, I'm Scottish. We wear a kilt. You don't think masculinity is important because right now masculinity appears to not be important. There's 2 wars. None of them are currently over here. I mean, they're on their way here if you see these Palestinian protesters and whatnot. But at the end of the day, masculinity has to be preserved. Nobody likes the warrior class to the enemies at the gate. It's better to be a gardener it's better to be a warrior in a garden than a gardener in a war. All of these fucking sayings, all of these euphemisms, all of these quotes, all of these cool T-shirts, all of the da 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 da. It's that way for a reason. There's a reason why young boys look to masculine figures. When I was a kid, it was Hulk Hogan, it was Jean-Claude Van Damme, it was Arnold Schwarzenegger. It was the guy saving the girl, doing the right thing, putting himself in harm's way no matter what. And now I'm 6'3", weighing 250 pounds, and I do the best I can for the people around me to keep them safe, keep them protected, and it is what it is. So, young boys need masculine role models. Now, there's, the things from my day. There's some masculine role models today. Plus, there's, the advantage of the internet with David Goggins, Cameron Haynes, Jocko Willnicks, Joe Rogan. I'm sure there's more. I'm just not thinking offhand. I'm also not a young boy nowadays looking for a masculine role model. UFC fighters, always athletes and whatnot. But, even the athletes nowadays are a little bit effeminate. Look, Robin back in the day used to wear a dress. That didn't make him feminine. But for most people, that will make you feminine as shit. Fellas, don't listen to this. It's nonsense. They won't date you if you wear a dress. They're just trying to seem virtuous as shit, and it's dumb as hell.
This is an ordinary guy.
Yeah, you're talking about a guy with status. So
Guy with status.
well, if he's on the magazine cover, he must have some degree of status.
And if
But
he
like
just
an
like
ordinary
wore a
guy in
dress.
IV, you're going to DP with him, your boyfriend, and he's wearing Del Playa. He's wearing a dress. You're okay with that?
Well, the kind of guys that I go for have a really huge sense of humor, so I think he would definitely wear a dress to be like.
On a regular.
Well, like not as a joke though. Like he's just like, yeah, I want to wear a dress just because he wants to. Not as like a gag or like oh look at me, I'm funny. Just I want to wear a dress.
Then I'd wear his clothes. If he wore my clothes, I'd wear his clothes. I think it'd be funny. If it's not a gag, but.
She's an idiot.
Hate on someone for like dressing feminine. But I mean, I don't think masculinity is like completely depleting like 1,000%. I think men just are deciding to be who they want to be, and I think that's fine. I think that's a really good choice. They should.
Fellas, she's lying. She's straight up lying. She won't date a dude in a dress. She date that Sam, whatever the hell his name is, because he's rich and successful, and she wants his goddamn money. Otherwise, she would never go near a man in a goddamn dress. This is the dumbest shit ever. Look, if you're going to wear a dress ironically out of the bedroom into the living room, that's one thing. But to wear it on a fucking date, that's absurd, and men don't do that. Look, bottom line is, men need men. Women need men. At the end of the day, there's a reason why guys say, I have a guy for that. Right? Tomorrow, I have to go see my Seamster. Or on Tuesday, I have to go see my Seamster. I want to take my girlfriend to the movies and out for the day on her birthday. I have guys for things. But the idea that men need men and women don't need us is absurd. Tell me what you think in the comments. Like, comment, subscribe. Tell me I'm right. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me what the hell you want. Just tell me something in the comments. I'm out.